My name is Steve Davis. I am author of the book, The Red Pill, and a write-in candidate for the U.S. Senate seat in Georgia for the November 2nd, 2010 general election. Some people have expressed concern for my use of the word revolution in conjunction with my running for office. I do want to point out that I am advocating a non-violent revolution. Now, that being said, we need to acknowledge that throughout history, violent revolutions have occurred in times where people have felt they had been relegated to the status of livestock by their government or rulers. The rulers make themselves increasingly wealthy and powerful by claiming ever-increasing control over what the people have. The people see their condition worsen as the elite rulers' conditions become exorbitant. The people will only take this type of abuse for so long before they will strike out and forcibly remove their rulers. The government of the United States has been abusing its power for decades. We, the people, are supposed to control the government, but most of us feel we're virtually ignored by our elected officials and powerless to affect any real change. In the last 10 to 20 years, the frustration level of many Americans has risen to a very high level. And I've heard various people talk about things like leaving the country, moving to Texas and hoping Texas secedes from the Union, and yes, even preparing for violence in the event that the country falls apart. Look, we the people know the government of the United States cannot continue to conduct itself as it has been doing and not go bankrupt. If the country goes bankrupt, it is we the people who will suffer, not the elite rulers. Our elected officials have been putting our futures in jeopardy for their own personal gains for far too long. If we allow this to continue, America will break. It's simply a matter of when. Look, I don't want the country to go bankrupt. I don't want to have widespread violence break out, whether it's in the form of general lawlessness or violent revolution. Violence and mass suffering can be avoided, but we have to put a stop to the current governmental abuses. Make no mistake about it, the Democrats and Republicans are the abusers. They have to be removed from the government because they have proven that no matter how much they take from the American people, it will never be enough to satisfy their hunger for power. And yes, both parties are absolutely to blame for the problems we now face. Look, the depth of this issue is far greater than I could possibly go into a short presentation like this. For greater detail on the problems plaguing America and what we the people can do about them, go to my website, electstevedavis.com, and investigate fully. My book, The Red Pill, is available as a free PDF download, and I urge every American citizen to read it and discuss the contents with your friends and family. We do have the power to take back our country without violence, but we must act before our current government implements the straw that breaks America's back. Now, I don't know what that last straw might be or when it might come, but I do know that we're moving ever closer. And unless huge changes are made, eventually it will happen. If you're a registered voter in Georgia, you can begin to take back your country by electing me in the November 2nd general election. Now, to do that, you're going to have to find the write-in button under the U.S. Senate section, click on it, and type in Steve Davis. If you're not a Georgia voter, please support and elect independent candidates in your state and consider becoming a candidate yourself. I applaud you for your interest in the important issues over time, and I wish you divine guidance in your quest for truth and enlightenment.